All right, guys. So I wanted to introduce you to one of my clients. She's having amazing breakthroughs and amazing things happen in her life. Um, Melina's been in the program for a few months, and her life has, oh my gosh, changed so much. And I want her to tell you all about it. So, hi, Melina. Hi,
Hello.
welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I am so excited to share with everyone um, with all of the things that you have been through in the past few months, everything that is now lining into place. So, yeah, just go ahead and share whatever you want about yourself. And where you were maybe a few months ago, where you are now, all the things have been happening. And so, yeah, just
All
tell us a
right.
little bit about you.
Well, I am a happily married woman who has been married for a while. I have two adult children, 24 and 21. And when they moved out of the house, I kind of felt this emptiness start, the empty nest syndrome and stuff. And I thought, this is a perfect time for me to work on myself. So I decided I just kind of got tired of the negativity and the way things were kind of going in my life and just feeling I needed a change. I needed to get past some things that happened in my past and just for a brighter future. So I've known Roberta for
Mm.
several years. So I decided to start her program. Um, and at first it's a little overwhelming because you don't understand the programming. Like you're programmed the way you are, and then that just carries through your life, and you don't understand honestly that you're even doing it until you become aware of the situation, of aware of your thoughts, of aware of what you say is so important and how that can affect your life. And so Roberta's been training me to do all these wonderful things, and it's it's just you're happier, and I feel more confident. I feel like nothing is impossible. I feel like I'm in a really good place. So,
Okay. So you've been a client of mine, a
mhm,
hairstylist
mhm,
client for a few years. I don't know how many now,
yes.
but so you've known me for a long time. You've seen
Mhm,
all the things that I've gone through in my life, and I
mhm,
think this was either early this year, late last year. You said something to me as I was doing your hair, and you're like, you did it. You cracked the code, and you've changed everything in your life. And so I just, when you
mhm,
saw that, you were like, you might not have said it, but maybe part of you is like, I want that.
mhm. Yeah, of course. I think everybody wants that. Everybody wants more prosperity, more happiness, more health, more whatever. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So some of the things that we've been working through, a lot of it is like our awareness of our thoughts and the things we're
Mhm,
saying, the things we're thinking, and the things that
mhm,
we're saying. And so I know you've brought up some things. You're like, I can't believe some of the things that not only I was thinking, but that I was saying too, and
mhm,
didn't realize how negative
mhm.
that was. So if you want to, tell us a few things that have changed in the past few months, where you
Okay.
were, where you are now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I used to say negative things and not even like just off the cuff and not even realize what I was saying or what I was bringing into my life by thinking those, saying those, or not being thankful for things. And after her, Roberta's training, I have understood that these all make a difference. These are the way that your life can be changed. Um, just the confidence that I've gotten, the healing. I just feel so much better about myself, which makes everything else kind of better in your life. You feel that nothing is impossible. And so, one of the examples I can give you is um, I have a job that I work part time. My husband was just recently laid off about 3 weeks ago, and we we didn't know what to do during the holidays. But I just kept saying, "Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Everything always works out. I'm not worried about it." Just positive talk, being thankful for what you have. Um, and so this week, my boss asked me if I wanted to do some different training to have some more responsibilities at my job, which would be a pay increase. And out of the blue, and then she said, "Oh, and we'll increase your pay at the beginning of the year too." And I was so like blown away, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you." Um, and Roberta always says, "Don't be shocked because you know it's coming. You've asked for it. You know it's coming." And that's just the perfect example right there. Like I'm I'm just so excited about the future and to understand like how you can change your future and how it's, that negative talk can just keep you down for such a long time and it's not necessary. So
Yeah.
that's what's happened
Okay.
for me in my life recently. So,
Oh, that is so awesome. Let's go back for a minute and let's talk about this was only like a week or two ago when
mhm,
husband got the news that
mhm,
he was going to be laid off.
yes.
Okay. So tell us about that. How
Um,
your reactions,
oh, my reaction.
your
Okay.
reactions, your maybe first reaction or
Okay.
how that played about, okay?
Well, when he first told me, um, I just was stunned. And for maybe 30 seconds, I thought, "Oh, well, what are we going to do?" Like, "Oh my goodness." And then I let that linger for like 30 seconds. And then I said, "No." I said, "No, no, no, no. This is a wonderful thing. This is a great thing. This means there's a better job out there for him that he's going to love, and he's going to make more money, and he is going to just prosper." I said, "This is how we're going to think of this. We're not going to have any negativity, and we're not going to let that get us down." So I've just really, really tried to keep the training that Roberta's taught me in the forefront of every thought going into that. And I believe it. I 100% believe it. I believe there is a better job, and I believe everything that I just said. I believe it, 100%. And I know it will come. Um, as Roberta said, nobody knows when, but that's okay because I've asked for it and I know it will be there.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So also, the thing was when this first happened, yes,
hmm
your first reaction might be like, "Ah."
Yeah, you're like,
Okay,
ah,
for a little bit, for a little bit. Okay.
yeah,
But he was so unhappy in his
hmm
job.
yeah,
And when you got to that place of you're like, it's actually a blessing.
absolutely,
He was
yeah.
so unhappy and you're just
hmm
loving your time now. Tell us about this.
About his unhappiness, or what? What did
About
you say?
how it is now,
Oh,
about
oh my
how
goodness.
unhappy he was and then how it changed
Oh,
so quickly.
he he was he was just miserable every day, getting up, going to work. I could see the stress. I could feel the tension. I could feel the stress just coming off of him. He knew he wasn't in the right place. He knew he wasn't where he wanted to be. And he knew that at some point this could go south. So he decided when he got the news that he wasn't going to stress about anything and he wasn't going to get upset and he wasn't going to do anything other than just take it in and assess for the future. So I think maybe my positivity is going on him, driving off on him. And he's been so stress free, not a care in the world. Um, we just know that everything's going to be provided. We just know that it's coming. And that's all you really need to believe. You need to just have that faith, have that understanding.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't gone through this training with Roberta, I would be in a really bad place right now. I would be, I mean, depressed, upset, anxious. I mean, all of the things that fear brings. And I don't have any of that. So, you know, it's
Uh, it,
it's
it
it's almost like it's meant to be. It's just meant to
oh,
be. So yeah.
timing.
hmm Yeah, the timing is it's just crazy. You think
Yeah.
about it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this journey the past few months, at first,
hmm
you're so
Yeah.
excited at the beginning. You're like,
hmm
yay, I'm so excited. And then we start getting into it
hmm
and some contrast shows up, some things. And
Yes.
then you're like, ugh, I get this. You got a little bit of this icky feeling every once in a
hmm
while. But
hmm
but that's normal.
Yeah.
Okay. It is
Yeah.
normal because we have to, in order to heal, you have to feel. You have to feel
hmm
some emotions. You have to
hmm
work through it and you had to learn how to be grateful for everything that was coming into your life, even the bad things,
hmm
the contrast, whatever. You're like,
Yeah.
okay,
hmm
that's when everything changed. That's when everything began to change in your life, didn't
hmm
it?
Yes, you have to know that there's always going to be contrast. But how you handle that contrast, I feel, is what is going to make you understand like how the universe works and how positivity can overcome, faith can overcome. And you just go with it. You just let it all go. And I talk to Roberta repeatedly about, we say, let it go. Like, I feel like I'm going to start singing
Mhm.
Frozen, like, let it go, you know?
Yes.
Um, and
Yeah.
when you do that, there's something so freeing and so positive, and you just have to get to that understanding of it's all going to work out. It's just all going to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like now it just now it's coming at you
hmm
fast. You're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Okay, because there was
Yeah.
a moment that you're like, "May I need to go get a full-time job."
Yes. Yes. I said, I need to go get a full-time job, something with benefits. But I I don't know how to explain it, but I just had something in my heart that was like, why don't you just hold off on that?
Mhm.
I was kind of looking at some jobs and I was like, nothing's really standing out to me. But I didn't feel bad about it. I didn't get upset about it. I didn't get anxious. I was like, you know, it's fine. And I don't know. I just didn't have that feeling and that desire to just like go get it, I think it's because God had something better for me waiting for me. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Boy, you didn't see this one coming, did you? Raise,
No,
another
no.
raise.
Yeah,
Um,
not at all. I didn't see, like, completely blindsided, but I walked away from the conversation with my boss and I was like, I shouldn't be surprised. I
Mhm.
asked for it. I'm not surprised. I just, I didn't know it happened so fast, but I'm
And
grateful. Very
and
grateful.
yes, and how is your relationship with your husband?
Um, Different. There's not stress. There's not that worry. We've gotten closer, being able to communicate better. I feel that obviously is communication is huge. So I feel like with me, I tell him all the time, he'll say something. I said, oh, don't say that. Don't put that out there. Like we're understanding how to communicate better and we're happy. I don't know.
Yeah,
We're just happy.
but he wasn't even like panicking. He was I think
No,
there was almost a relief.
a relief. Yes. Like a
Yeah.
relief of, oh my goodness, this burden is taken off of my plate. Like I now have the opportunity to find what is meant for me to be in a better place, for a better job, and to, make a difference somewhere and whatever the future brings. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And in the meantime, you feel like you're like helping out, contributing more in that
Hmm.
way. And we've
Yeah.
also discussed because with the holidays right in
Hmm.
front of us,
Yes.
how's that looking?
Well, you're gonna laugh at me, but when I found out, like when he got laid off, I thought, oh, right before the holidays, that's part of that, assessment I had, that initial gut feeling. But then I turned and I was like, no, I'm not going to be upset or sad about this. I'm like, it's freeing. For the first time, I don't have to buy a million things for Christmas. All I have to do is be together with my family
Mhm.
and be together with my husband and know that the gifts aren't what it's about. And like family is, love is expressing that to the people you love. And I'm excited for Christmas this year. It's just going to be so stress free, relaxing. I've never had that. I've never had that before, and I think it's wonderful. It's a wonderful gift. So I'm treating it as a blessing.
Yeah.
And like, I started listening to Christmas music the other day, and I'm like, I'm just so happy. And
Oh,
it's like I don't have a care in the world.
wow.
I don't know.
It
I'm happy.
I love, love, love this so
Yeah,
much for you. I
I
can
know.
see it. I can feel your energy, the
Yes.
lightness. It's just been so beautiful just watching you grow and evolve and
Mhm.
see where you're at now. And oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
The the journey is the, part that you learn to appreciate and love and it's like your whole life you were wearing like these rose-colored glasses and now they're off and you can be positive and you can be thankful and grateful and it just changes your whole outlook on everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. The best thing
yeah.
about you is that you were ready.
Yes.
You had the desire, you
Hmm.
made the decision, and you were like, I'm all in. And you were open to hearing these new things, and you were
Yes.
open to really listening and trying these things out. And,
Hmm.
now we're deep into this book, A Return to
Hmm.
Love.
Yes.
And boy, what do you think about the book?
It's in depth. It's definitely something that makes me think and makes me expands my own ability to understand how things work. So I'm enjoying that part of it. And just to understand that, um, nothing is finite. Like there's like everything is so bountiful and vast, I guess. I mean, it's just crazy how you think of your life and how you're just an individual in the world. But after you start expanding those thoughts and understanding what you're reading and learning, and you're just like, wow, I'm just, I'm still kind of blown away about like things I'm learning, and it's just all good. All good. I
So
love it.
I know. So good.
Yeah.
I see so much for you in the future,
Yeah.
and I know that, sometimes we don't know exactly what that looks like,
Hmm.
and but it's really it's just take the next step.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
one day at a time, right? Living today, living
Yes.
in the present moment, just taking the next step, and you see now
Hmm.
where that,
Yes.
where that's leading you.
Yes. Well, there's so many things that you would do, I would do on a daily basis, that just simple things like just going to the grocery store. Oh, I don't want to go to the grocery store. Oh, it's going to take me forever. Oh, I have to park way far out. And just, it's like things that you didn't like, things that you would dread. You would have just that negative thought would just snowball into this massive blah of a day, and your negativity just takes you down and down and down. And I'm not like that anymore. I'm not like that at all. So, yeah,
Mm.
somebody the other day at work had told me, I had said something to them, and they're like, "Oh, you're always so happy and cheerful and in a good mood." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I am. Thanks." So,
I have to say though, okay, you've always seemed like over the years, I mean, for the past few
mhm,
years, you would come into the salon and you would seem like you were in a good mood. And I think
mhm,
you put on this, I'm not saying that you were fake in any way. I'm saying that I think that you were like, we had this part of you that was, oh,
yeah,
it was so good to see you. And then there was this part of where you would like
mhm,
apologize for everything. I'm
yes,
so sorry. I'm so sorry I'm late. You were always so nice about everything. But there was so much that you were just using, I guess, more energy than what you needed
mhm,
to. And
yeah, yeah,
because of
definitely,
worry, because you're worried. You're like, I don't want to be
yeah,
late. And I'm sorry about this and that. And I'm like, girl,
mhm. Let
yeah.
it go. That's what you let it go. And like I said, it's so freeing to let it go. I mean, it's it's a whole new outtake on life. It's wonderful because you're right. It does take so much energy, so much more energy to be negative and to have the worry, the anxiety, the depression. Like, who needs all that?
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm
Mhm.
glad I don't have any of that. I
I
let it
know.
all go. Just the outlook on life is so, for the first time, it's so positive and wonderful. And I don't know, it's great.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Can we talk about a little story you had told me?
Sure.
Um, when your kids said to you, Mom, you
Oh,
is that okay if
I'm, yeah, about
they're like,
me being judgy.
they're like, Mom, you're so judgmental.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
go,
And I had no idea. Like, I literally had no idea until they brought it to the forefront of a conversation. Mom, you're so judgy. Why are you judging everyone? Why are you so negative? And I was like, oh gosh, I am. Like, wow. Like, and how, yeah, to have your kids tell you that, like,
yeah.
that's not something you want. That's not something you want them to see in you. And so, yeah, I was thankful that that was brought up, And now I know how to not do that anymore. And I feel like I don't do that anymore. Still learning some of the programming sometimes can come up and get you, like, and then you just have to stop it and say, okay, that is not who I am anymore. That is not part of me. I'm let it go. So
Right?
I've let it go. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
it's okay. We might have those thoughts that come up.
yes,
You just catch them quicker.
right. And
Right.
through the training that you've taught me, like, because of those situations that come up, you have to come from a place of love and compassion. Maybe that person that pulled in front of you and cut you off was literally driving to the hospital to get by a loved one, that they just got the call and they're on their way to be with that person. Or their daughter went into labor and they're on their way, or their wife. You just never know people's situation. And that has taught me not to judge, because I don't know what's going on in anyone else's life besides myself and maybe my friends, but in the world in general, how much better of a place would it be if nobody judged anybody? I mean, that's huge. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
And because we don't see it, but boy, you took it on.
Hmm.
And there were times you're like, oh, I did it. I was like, I did so good in this situation. And I think,
Hmm.
I don't know if we want to call it tested or
Hmm.
whatever, but there will be things that will be brought into your life
Hmm.
to give
Yes.
you an opportunity to choose differently
Hmm. Yes.
as
And
a
they are
learning
definitely,
experience.
yeah,
Yes.
yes. And you have to learn from them and move on. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. Um, and it's it's awesome because I feel like a new me. I feel like I'm not that old person that I used to be. I'm now positive. I'm not judging people. I'm, you know, doing things with compassion and love for other people. And I do that at my work. So I feel like I I'm on the phone, and there's people that call me and they're just overwhelmed and they're consumed with what they're going through. And you just got to show those people compassion and be like, it's okay. It's all going to work out. I've said that to people on the phone, complete strangers, before. I said, do not worry about it. It's all going to work out. Everything's going to be okay. I even had one lady start to cry, and I said, don't worry. It's all going to work out. And she's like, thank you. I needed to hear that. Thank you so much. She was a sweet, sweet lady. And so I'm spreading that wherever I go. So,
Oh my gosh. And sometimes it's like the thing about having someone, a mentor or a coach, is that,
mhm.
you know, you you kind of borrowed my belief for a little bit. Like you,
Oh yeah.
right? We need
Mhm.
someone to believe in us until we can believe in ourselves, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of
Oh,
my past trauma, I would say, had part of that being that I never believed in myself, and I never had the confidence to be the person I wanted to be. And now I feel different. I feel like I've got this. I can do this. I can be anyone I want to be. Like, I can write that I am statement and I can be anyone I want to be. So now I'm getting to that place where I'm making sure I am taking the steps to be that person that I want to be,
I know.
instead of, you know, wallowing, I should say, in my self pity like I
Mhm.
did before, and my woe is me. I don't do that anymore.
No, no, you
Mm-mm,
don't.
mm-mm,
You're and it's okay. There's gonna be moments here and there, but now that you're to this point,
mm-hmm.
okay, whoa,
Yeah.
you're really you're in a different place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. Yes. 100%. And it's a good place to be.
It's a beautiful place to
It
be.
is. It is.
Yes.
You see things so differently, and perspective is huge.
Wow. So it's interesting because when we go to this of like investing in ourselves, I don't
Hmm.
know, I didn't ask or anything at the beginning if it was something that if you went to your husband and asked for his permission or if you discussed it with him or if you jumped in, I'm not really sure.
Hmm.
And so
I, yeah, I kind of just, I took it upon myself just to jump in and do it because I was like, I'm taking care of me.
Mhm.
And he supports me 100%. I talked to him about it, but I'd already made the decision to do it. And I just basically informed him that I was doing this, and he's like, "Oh, that's great. Do whatever you need to do." So, yeah, I feel like sometimes you just need to be in the right place to accept that help and to be open to receive what comes out of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody then if they were like, "Oh, but they don't feel like worthy as because
Hmm.
I was a stay-at-home mom for a
Hmm.
long time, and I think we think that we're not allowed to like spend a lot of money on ourselves or invest in
Hmm.
ourselves. And so for the person that says, well, you know, I can't afford it or my
Hmm.
husband won't let me or something like
Hmm.
that, like what do we say? What do we say to that person?
Well, I say look around your environment. And there are so many things that I'm speaking from experience, like that you can cut back on or not do and invest that in yourself. Because if if you continue to feel the way that you feel and you're depressed or just, you know, woe is me, you don't have confidence, you're down on yourself, like I was, everything was negative, you're never going to get in a better place. You're never going to get to that place where you want to go, but you just don't feel like you can. So I would say look around at your budget and tell yourself you're worth it. Tell yourself, I can do this. I feel I should do this because that's what I felt. I felt like if I don't change something now, I'm going to get worse.
Mhm.
It's almost like um ignoring a problem that you know is going on and just putting blinders on because you don't feel like you're worth fixing it. Like you're worth every penny and you have to believe that. You have to believe that I will be a better person. And by being a better person, I have better relationships. I love better. I understand my family better now. I have compassion. I mean, that's priceless. Like that is priceless. You have to understand that it is worth it.
Okay, thank you. And it's only been a few months for you. I'm so I'm so
Yeah,
excited to see in the future what's going to come because you've really made
yeah,
some huge changes
I
already
have.
in life and I'm just
Yes.
so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm
You-
proud of myself.
And that is something I don't know if I would have heard from you.
Probably not.
Yeah. So,
Not, yeah,
oh
absolutely.
my gosh. All right. Well, keep up the good energy
I
And
will.
thank you so, so much for sharing your story with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
No problem. We'll talk again soon, girl.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.